This is going to be my new and improved video on my new baby chicks and how I'm raising them. You don't really need fancy equipment to raise chickens from chicks. You just need a few things like a heat lamp with a special clamp that you can clamp it, which you could just get at Home Depot. It's easy to find. The heat lamp is very important because if they aren't warm enough, they'll die. A feeder, which you could get at Agway, a feeder and a water. I actually took out the water sometimes and used just like a bowl with rocks because they kept like getting poop in the water and it was disgusting. But yeah, and to keep them in, I was using a box in the house. You can't keep them outside when they're babies because they're just too young. But you can use a box, you could use like an aquarium tank, you can use, ideally, like what like the professionals use is they have, it's like a cage and it has like a cage floor so that all the droppings go down. It's much more sanitary, much easier to clean up after because their droppings just go down so they're not walking in it. But if you don't have that, it's okay, it's just a little bit more work for you. What I'm doing is I'm using a box. I'm keeping them in the house, in a box, with the heat lamp over them. If they start with their mouth open and panting, they're probably too hot, or they might be thirsty, but they're probably too hot, so just move the lamp further away. For bedding, you can use wood shavings, or you could use ripped newspaper. Some people say that newspaper can cause splayed leg, but I think if it's shredded really good, it shouldn't cause splayed leg. I haven't had a problem with my chicks at all. Just make sure it's shredded, because when they're babies and they're developing, if it's just a flat, slippery surface, then that can cause splayed leg, and that's not fun. But so yeah, so during the day I actually changed it up a little bit because they're getting bigger now and too big for the little box that I have. So I'm gonna show you what I'm doing. This is the box that I'm keeping them inside. It's not the biggest box. I wish I had a bigger one, but I'm not at work right now, so I can't get more boxes. But I'm just doing the shredded newspaper in the box. I actually have like a small log across because they kept jumping on top of the feeders because they wanted to perch. So I put a little log in there for them to perch in. But now that it's gorgeous outside, today is like 70, I actually took the dog cage that we're not using. It's a pretty big cage. Our Doberman would fit in it, but she doesn't need it anymore. So I brought that outside. It's on our deck. It has the bottom. I filled the bottom with grass and dirt, and I just put them in. I put them outside. One of them actually slipped through the bars because they're still so little. So I just put, you know, whatever I could find on every side. This is a piece of plywood. I have the box on this side, cardboard on the other side, and you just kind of put stuff against the sides so they can't escape through the little holes. But they're pretty happy in there. Since it's so nice out, they don't need the heat lamp, but if it were cooler, I wouldn't suggest bringing them outside. Usually you want to wait until they're fully feathered. You want to wait until they're fully feathered to bring them out, but again, like I said, since it's so nice out today, I just brought them outside because I don't like poopies in the house. Other than that, they're a lot of fun. They are a lot of work, especially if you get a bunch at a time. I have 7 right now. My last batch of chickens, they got eaten, unfortunately. I raised them from chicks. We made them a coop, put them in the coop. Like a week or 2 later, something dug underneath the coop and killed all of them. So I can't stress how important it is. If you make your own coop, it needs to have a bottom. I mean, I understand wanting to have your chickens foraging, which is what I had. I had the coop and then I had the pen, but the pen didn't have a bottom. You need to have, you want like chicken wire around the perimeter of the pen and bury that, and also underneath. So since I want my chickens to be able to forage in the pen, what I'm going to be doing is I'm going to be doing a chicken wire floor, but then I'm going to be putting more dirt on top. So they're still going to be able to forage and take dust baths, but when the fox tries to dig under, they're not going to be able to get in. Yeah, that's basically it. Just make sure they have food and fresh water at all times. I usually take away their water at night. Sometimes I take away their food too at night, just because I don't want them constantly pooping and sleeping in their own poop. But yeah, that's it. And I'm not leaving them outside overnight right now. Definitely not. They're way too young. So I'm going to be taking them back into the house under the heat lamp at night in their little box. And that's it. Any questions, I guess just ask. Having chickens is a lot of fun and it has a lot of great benefits, so hope you guys get some chicks.